What's up, YouTube? If you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to Filipina. In the Philippines, I have 4 beautiful stepchildren. And today, I know a lot of you are wondering about what's going on with the court case. So today, I'm going to talk about what's going on. You know, I originally went down there. I just flew back. I got back this morning. Yeah, I believe it was this morning. Or was it yesterday morning? No, this morning. So, you know, I went down and I couldn't really disclose everything, but the court case was on the 18th, which basically was today in the Philippines. Or, yeah, today in the Philippines. Because it's 4 o'clock there now. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here in Michigan. And before I go on about this case, I'm going to bear with me. This is for the new people that are going to watch this video. I had spent numerous trips going to the Philippines, plus prior to that being locked out, going through the COVID thing for over 2 years, being without my wife, you know, video call. And I made a plan to go down and spend time with them. I kind of needed a break from the United States. All the years working as a carpenter contractor. And, you know, we had a plan. We already had a piggery going. We lived very close to all the relatives. Real quick, her parents are dead. It was just her other relatives, her father's relatives, 3 sisters, and particularly the one that was married to a guy that obviously had some issues. And for the first half of the year, everything was fine because we had a store down there, and I wasn't around the house much. But after the store went sour, sorry store, laundromat, you know, we had everything in there. It went sour. I was around the house a lot more, and we started having issues. And you know, the loud music, we could tell the jealousy, the envy, constantly the one relative always, you know, yelling over red horse, and just, he started throwing cups over. He liked to throw rocks. But the final straw was when he threw this big cup over. And it almost hit my wife. Well, later on, I believe it was that evening, me and my stepson were coming back from town, and we had my other aunt has a sorry store. We ran into him. He was with his son and 2 other people, and a fight broke out. My son got hit. They were trying to attack me with Red Horse bottles, and son got hit in the head. Long story short, he had to go to the hospital. He had to have surgery done on his brain. In the meantime, this guy didn't even get arrested. It took 2 weeks. My son spent about 6 weeks in the hospital, 5 or 6 weeks. He's fine. He's doing good. This happened, man, I don't even know if it's been over 6 months now, 7 months. And I had false charges put against me. We hired an attorney. We thought we got a good attorney. He's absolutely really done nothing. Everything he's done to this point, we could have done. You know, the deal, from the very first time when he went in for my case, because I was back here in the United States, he comes out and then he calls Dexel and says, "Oh, good news. They made a deal." Well, we could have done that. And it was basically, we dropped charges on the guy that tried to kill my son and put him in the hospital, and he's a minor. He was only 17 years old. And then they'll drop the charges that are on me, basically our self-defense, you know. And so, before I go on any further, it was kind of funny, you know, I just got back. We spent time down there in Cebu, and I'm sorry, I was supposed to go over to Bacolod, but, like my shirt says, freedom. I left the day before this court, and I was not supposed to show up. I didn't have to show up, and the attorney, because we made the deal that we're going to drop charges, and then they drop the charges, and then they're going to pay. they're going to pay back the amount that they owe, which we already know is never going to happen. You know, I believe it's close to 1 million Filipino peso. There's no way they'll ever be able to pay it back. But we have to, my wife has to live in the province. She doesn't want anything to affect me, whether it's 13A visa, you know, me going down there. But like they say, they got that saving face, you know, everybody's sorry when they're in trouble. You know, I've talked to a lot of Filipinos and educated, great Filipinos that they live here in the United States and they're away from their relatives, especially when the mother and father have already passed away and they have their other siblings to deal with. They said it's just, and they're Filipino, it's unbearable, you know. And these guys are educated, they got good jobs, and, you know, a lot of them don't know how to budget money. Well, so anyways, with this court, it happened today. Filipino, I'm 12 hours ahead. So like I said, it's 4 in the morning now. It is 4 o'clock in the Philippines right now. And the people, they live right by us. You know, I can basically just spit over our big fence or cement wall and basically spit on their porch. They're that close. They didn't leave. The attorney called that evening and told Dexel that he doesn't even need to go down there. The physical, so that's basically the prosecutor, is married to the judge. So, you know, because my wife said, well, did you talk to the judge? And he says, no, I talked to the physical. So, like I said, it's a foreign country. We thought when we made this deal, this was back, I think, 3 weeks ago or even a month ago. And because this can just go on. And I can't keep taking trips down to show up to court for something that's nonsense. And I told my wife, I go, well, maybe you should just show up and go there anyways, just to see. But she had said that people, they didn't even leave, so they were contacted. So, like I said, we're still waiting on the final paperwork. The attorney did say, my wife basically asked that we don't want to have to go and collect the money. He doesn't want to have to go, she don't want to have to go see that aunt of hers and be like, here, you owe me this much money every week, or I think she set it up every week. So we'll see how that goes. You know, it's just how it is down there. We thought that the charges would have been immediately dropped against me. That's what the attorney kind of said. But the very first court date that the attorney showed up at, the judge wanted me there. It would have been better if I was there, because then obviously can sign off or do whatever, I guess. I don't know. But I basically, you know, this last trip in the Philippines, I had a great time because I got to hang out with 2 of the kids. And because the one daughter's in college, the other one just kind of got her own life. She ended up getting pregnant, has a baby, 2-year-old now. And it was still nerve-wracking, wondering, are they going to pull some stuff? Maybe they'll put a warrant out. But my attorney assured me, because it's such a minor case against me, and it was all lies. You know, they had some people, they got them drunk, had them forge some documents, but then when it came time, that first hearing, you know, where are your witnesses? And then that's when they came clean and basically said they lied. So it's like, why don't you just drop everything now? But like I say, I'll never understand the Philippines. My wife doesn't. So hopefully here, you know, maybe in the next month, 3 months, we'll have some news. We do know that guy's still in jail. He hasn't even made it over to the major prison yet. He's still held up in a local jail. I can't disclose where. I mean, most of you probably know, you know, because you know where I live. But that's what's going on. I basically, I'm telling you, going through customs, I was just like, you know, in the name of Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. I got down and I prayed and I says, oh, Lord, you know, I just hope I make it through here. They're not trying to pull some kind of crap. But so far, you know, like I can say, you know, I was wrong. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And I'm back. You know, I'm back here in Michigan. I'm going to process my wife's visa now. I know I've told you guys before I was in the process. Well, I had to do research because I'm going to do it myself. I got a buddy of mine that's familiar with doing it because he did it with his fiance at the time. And I got married in the Philippines. So I'm going to process it and let her be able to come over here to the United States. You know, we've spent, I think I did a little over 2 weeks over there. And don't get me wrong, it's fun for a while, but can I picture myself living over there right now? No. No, I just go over there so I can see my family. It's not for me for retirement. You know, we spent 2 weeks in Mactan, Newtown, and I had to leave. I found a better place down the road, but it was further to get to a gym, which was still okay. Mactown, Newtown, I really like the gym they got there, NASTA. It's called NASTA, N-A-S-T-A. I loved it. Aircon was perfect, just cool enough, good treadmills. It was a good, nice gym. And then they have the Anytime Fitness across the street, which is phenomenal too. But I just can't seem to keep myself busy over there. I still have a lot of energy. I want to work. I enjoy my work. I enjoy what I do right now. And since I'm healthy, I might as well work. You know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 2. You know, I went to sleep maybe at 7 o'clock. And I woke, or 8 o'clock, I woke up a couple times, go to the bathroom, but then I've been up since 2 o'clock. When I get done with this video, I'll upload it. I'll probably do an hour and 20-minute workout, pack my lunch, and I'll head to work. But I just wanted to give some of you guys a little bit of information what's going on. I've been having, you know, in the comments, a lot of people, you know, what's going on with the case. So that's where we're at, you know. And I think I ended up paying 15,000 peso per case. I had 2 cases for 1 incident. I mean, how do you, 2 cases for 1 incident, you know? It's very goofy down there. So 30,000 peso, and he had made 1 trip down. Every trip was like 1,000 per case, so 2,000 peso. And then he did say, well, since I made a deal, and it wasn't in the agreement, I read the agreement, that he gets an additional like 5,000 peso, and I was just like, you know, whatever. We'll pay it when he signs off. I can send him a nice little message, you know. Can tell him thanks for a whole lot of nothing that we could have done. They would have gave us the deal, you know. It's just how it is down there, you know. But a lot cheaper than hiring an attorney here in America. I can tell you that much. If I had something going on like that here in America, it'd be costing me now, I know a few good attorneys, probably $7,000 to $10,000 for something like that. So, anyways, stay tuned. I'm going to do, we stayed at this hotel called the Belmont. Now, if I ever go down to Cebu, I'll just stay at the Belmont for 2 weeks. I mean, free breakfast buffet. From 6 to 10, go there as many times as you want. Beautiful pool, beautiful gym. You got the Mactan Newtown Beach you can go to for free. The only thing is they don't have the kitchenettes where you can cook, but the restaurant there has very, very good food and actually very inexpensive. You can get some good meals for $6, $8 a meal, and up, and some a little bit cheaper. But so anyway, stay tuned. Oh, hey, before I go, I was over at the Belmont, and I met this guy from, oh, God, I think it was like the UK or England, and he's married to a Filipina. He's 2 years older than me. He's been over there for a long time. He's got a business where he doesn't have to be there, so he built a nice house. He's got the 4-wheelers, big, beautiful house, and he's around his relatives. Him and his wife had to leave. They go, we're leaving, we're gone. They locked the house up. And they're not going back for a couple months. They had enough. They're having the same issues. They're having all kinds of issues. It's the relatives. So I'm not, like I said, I get thousands of comments. Those relatives are they are something else. I'm telling you. And for a lot of, there's some of you out there that don't have problems. That's great, you know. But there's thousands and thousands of us that do, you know. And it's just now all I do is laugh about it. I just laugh. I mean, I just laugh. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to have a pretty good video coming out this weekend about why I left, and then kind of dealing with a Filipina that you married, you know, the kids, a lot of positives, and then, you know, a few negatives. But it's kind of funny, so stay tuned. Thank you.